Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are appealing his conviction and sentence. They have a court date scheduled for April 9th when they will argue for the release of the music mogul. Federal jury in New York City convicted Diddy last July on 2 counts of transporting people across state lines to engage in prostitution. The jury found him not guilty of more serious sex trafficking charges. The judge ordered Combs to serve more than 4 years in prison. Now, Diddy's lawyers have argued their client's conviction should be overturned because he was engaged in voyeurism, not prostitution. They claim Diddy watched his girlfriends have sex with other men. He's currently serving his sentence at a prison in Fort Dix, New Jersey, and he's scheduled for release in May of 2028. Look, if I were Diddy and I had money and resources and a chance, I'd appeal too. Prisons are filled with jailhouse lawyers who are always trying to break down cases and figure out ways to appeal. There's absolutely nothing wrong with people using their legal rights to pursue an appeal. But I don't think this one's going to work. You know, forget for a second whether it's right or wrong. Forget for a moment about whether I agree or not, whether you agree or not. That's not the point just yet. There's a bigger point at play here, which is Diddy ducked and avoided a lot of big charges. A lot of big charges. He could have been looking at damn near life in prison, and instead, he got a few years. Was the system fair? Did it honor the spirit of the system? Maybe not. I think Diddy was probably misconvicted. Diddy's broken lots of laws. He's done lots of awful shit. But the thing that he was actually charged with may be debatable. The sentence may have been excessive for that thing. But I think for most people who saw the Cassie video, for most people who heard the details of the trial, they feel like overall, Diddy needed to be held accountable for the harm that he caused, and that this was reasonable. I'm not saying that that's fair or not. Take our own opinions off the table. My point, my only point, or at least my primary point, is that as a practical matter, juries didn't want to send him home. Judges don't want to send him home. Appeals courts don't want to send him home. So whether you think it's right or not, I think that stacks against Diddy. Second piece here is the actual facts of the case. He's saying that it wasn't prostitution because he was watching the sex. I'll defer to legal experts out there, but that doesn't seem like a viable argument to me. Someone asked, why did the Fed miss the mark for this Diddy case? Why did they go for the low-hanging fruit? I think the Fed's overcharged. I think that they had blood in their blood. They saw blood in the water. They had big eyes, and they tried to make a big case out of it, and they overplayed their hand, and they lost. And I think it was a winnable case that they bungled. I say the same thing about Young Thug. I think the state screwed up. This happens a lot. You know, people tend to think that the federal prosecutors are unbeatable because of their 99+% conviction rate. But so much of that, as I wrote about in my book, Nobody, is about what? Plea bargains. They take people. Most people can't afford to fight the state. The state has their case organized. They build a case. It looks impenetrable, and then you plead out. But when people got money and they start fighting, the Don Kings of the world, the Diddys of the world, the Young Thugs of the world, just start looking different. The feds aren't so unbeatable. So, we'll see what happens. But I think Diddy has already gotten the best situation possible under the circumstances. And I think, look, again, fight all you want, whoever you are in prison. Fight all you want. If it's within your legal right as a prisoner, do it. But I think Diddy's going to end up riding out these 2 years. And 2 years ain't so bad. 2 years ain't so bad, given that he was looking at like 200. I'm not literally, but you get my point.